You have been told to ignore your enemies, to be the bigger person, to rise above the conflict. You have been told that a man with no enemies is a good man. Niccolò Machiavelli, a man who navigated a world of poison and daggers, would tell you the truth. A man with no enemies is not a good man. He is an irrelevant man. And your enemies, they are not your curse. They are your greatest, untapped source of power. Think about the last time you felt the sting of a rival's success, the burn of a hater's comment, the cold dread of knowing someone is actively working against you in the shadows. Your instinct, trained by a naive and comfortable society, is to avoid, to ignore, to pretend they don't exist. You tell yourself, their opinion doesn't matter. You say, I'm focused on my own path. But late at night, their words echo in your mind. Their success gnaws at your peace. Your avoidance is not a sign of strength. It is a confession of fear. You are not ignoring your enemy. You are letting them live rent-free inside your head. You are letting them win the war without even fighting. Machiavelli understood what modern self-help gurus refuse to admit. Conflict is not an anomaly. It is the natural state of the world. And an ignored enemy is not a defeated enemy. It is an enemy that is growing stronger in the dark. But he also understood a forbidden secret. Your enemies, if used correctly, can become the very architects of your success. They can make you sharper, stronger, and more focused than your friends ever could. Today, we will deconstruct Machiavelli's art of war. This is not a guide to making peace. This is a guide to using conflict to forge yourself into a weapon. To understand this forbidden's logic, you must first abandon the childish fantasy of a life without conflict. As Machiavelli wrote, there is no avoiding war. It can only be postponed to the advantage of others. Every day, in every interaction, a silent war is being fought. For status, for resources, for respect. Your career is a battlefield. Your relationships are a series of negotiations. Your social circle is a web of shifting alliances. To pretend otherwise is to be a sheep, walking willingly into a world of wolves. The naive man fears his enemies. He wishes they would disappear. The strategist welcomes his enemies. He understands their value. He knows they are a gift wrapped in the ugly paper of conflict. Machiavelli's philosophy is not about hatred. It is about utility. How can this person, this situation, this conflict be used to my advantage? Your enemies offer you 3 priceless gifts that your friends never will. The first gift your enemy gives you is the gift of clarity. Your friends will flatter you. Your family will protect your feelings. They will tell you what you want to hear. Your enemies will not. Your enemy is a merciless, brutally honest mirror. They will find every weakness in your argument, every flaw in your character, every crack in your armor, and they will attack it without mercy. The weak man shatters when he sees this reflection. He becomes defensive. He cries that it's unfair. He calls them a hater. The strategist says, "Thank you." He listens, not to the insult, but to the information. Is there a kernel of truth in their criticism? Is my argument really as strong as I thought? Is there a weakness in my strategy that I was blind to? Your enemy, in their desire to destroy you, will do more to improve you than any supportive friend ever could. They are your unpaid and most ruthless quality assurance team. Let's make this practical. You launch a new project. Your friends say, "It's amazing. Great job." This feels good, but it teaches you nothing. Your enemy, a rival in your field, writes a scathing critique. He points out a flaw in your marketing. He questions your data. He mocks your design. The weak man's ego is wounded. He lashes out. The strategist reads the critique with a cold, detached focus. He ignores the insults. He extracts the data. He's right about the marketing. My messaging is unclear. I need to fix that. His point about the data is weak, but it shows me how my competitors will try to attack. I need to prepare a counter-argument. Your enemy has just given you his entire battle plan for free. He has shown you the path to making your project unbreakable. This is the gift of clarity. It is painful, but it is priceless. The second gift your enemy gives you is the gift of focus. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. When you are unopposed, when life is easy, your mind becomes soft. You lose your edge. You procrastinate. You become distracted by trivialities. You chase fleeting pleasures. Your potential begins to atrophy. A man without a clear enemy often becomes his own worst enemy. He wages a pointless internal war against himself. But a clear external enemy is a powerful organizing principle. The presence of a rival, a competitor, someone who is actively trying to beat you, is a gift. It focuses your mind like a laser. It purifies your actions. It burns away all that is not essential. When you know someone is watching your every move, waiting for you to slip, you stop wasting time. You stop making excuses. You get up earlier. You work harder. You think more clearly. Your enemy, in his attempt to defeat you, forces you to become the strongest version of yourself. He is the whetstone that sharpens your blade. Machiavelli understood this in the context of nations. He observed that states with powerful, threatening neighbors often became the strongest, most disciplined, and most innovative societies. The constant threat forced them to be excellent. The same is true for the individual. Look at the greatest rivalries in history, in sports, in business, in art. Did Steve Jobs become Steve Jobs without Bill Gates? Did Muhammad Ali become Ali without Joe Frazier? Their enemies gave them a target, a reason to push beyond their limits, a focal point for all their energy and ambition. So do not resent your rival. Do not wish them ill. Use them. Use their success as fuel for your own fire. Use their existence as a cure for your own laziness. Every time you see them win, let it be a reminder of the work you still have to do. Every time you feel the sting of their progress, let it be the whip that drives you forward. Your enemy gives you a gift your friends cannot, a reason to be ruthless with yourself, a reason to demand greatness. He keeps you honest. He keeps you hungry. And for that, you should be almost grateful. It is a common fault of men not to reckon on storms in fair weather. Niccolò Machiavelli. The third and most subtle gift your enemy gives you is the gift of unity. Machiavelli knew one thing well. The fastest way to bring divided people together is to give them a common enemy. A clear threat from outside makes them stop fighting each other. It pushes them to set aside small quarrels and unite around one goal: survival. The same rule works in personal life. A clear enemy helps you see who is truly with you. When you face attack, You quickly find out who your real friends are. Fake allies vanish. Flatterers go quiet. The ones who stay close, whose aims match yours, will stand by you. In trying to break you, your enemy has done you a strange favor. He has cleaned your circle. He has shown you the few you can trust. But there is a darker, more strategic application of this law. Sometimes, if a unifying enemy does not exist, a wise leader will create one. He will identify an external threat, real or perceived, and use it to rally his people. This is a dangerous game, but one that has been played by leaders for centuries. In your own life, this doesn't mean inventing false enemies. It means understanding the power of a shared objective. When you are leading a team, it is far more effective to unite them against a common competitor or a challenging market condition than it is to try and unite them with team-building exercises. A shared war is a far stronger bond than a shared lunch. Furthermore, a clear enemy helps you define who you are. By understanding what you are fighting against, you gain a much clearer picture of what you are fighting for. Your enemy's values become the negative image of your own. If they are chaotic, you become a force for order. If they are deceptive, you become a champion of a higher truth. If they are nihilistic, you become a creator of meaning. Your enemy, in their opposition to you, forces you to sharpen your own identity. They give you a clear banner to fight under. And a man with a clear banner is a man who can inspire others to follow him. So you see the gifts hidden within the poison. The gift of clarity, which makes you stronger. The gift of focus, which makes you sharper. And the gift of unity, which makes you a leader. Your enemy is not your curse. Your enemy is your teacher, your trainer, and your unlikely architect. You have been trying to live a life without enemies because you thought that was the path to peace. But the truth is, a life without enemies is a life without definition, a life without challenge, a life without growth. The real path to peace is not in the absence of conflict. It is in the mastery of conflict. It is in becoming so strong, so strategically aware, that your enemies, by their very existence, make you better. You stop fearing them. You start using them. And that is the moment you truly become free. So how do you begin to practice this forbidden art? How do you turn the poison into medicine? First, conduct an enemy audit. Take out a piece of paper. Be brutally honest. Who in your life is a rival, a competitor, a source of friction? Write down their names. And next to each name, instead of listing their flaws, list what you can learn from them. What is their greatest strength? What weakness in you do they expose? What strategy are they using that you are not? This is no longer a list of enemies. It is a personalized curriculum for your own growth. Second, practice strategic silence. The next time your enemy tries to provoke you, especially in public or online, do not engage. Do not defend. Do not explain. Your silence is not weakness. It is a statement. It says, "You are not important enough to warrant my energy." This will infuriate them more than any argument, and it will show everyone else that you are the one in control. You are the one who cannot be baited. Third, learn to keep your enemies close. This is one of Machiavelli's most famous and most misunderstood pieces of advice. It doesn't mean you should invite your rivals to dinner. It means you must study them, follow their work. Understand their strategies. Know their strengths and weaknesses better than they do. Your enemy is your most valuable source of market intelligence. He will show you the future. He will show you the threats you did not see coming. To ignore him is not a sign of confidence. It is a sign of arrogance, and arrogance is always punished. You have been given a new map for the battlefield of life. A map that shows you that your greatest obstacles are also your greatest opportunities. A map that teaches you to see your enemies not as a threat to your peace, but as a necessary ingredient for your power. The wise man does at once what the fool does finally. Niccolò Machiavelli. The fool waits for his enemies to destroy him. The wise man uses his enemies to build himself. The choice is yours. You can continue to live in the naive fantasy of a world without conflict. You can continue to be wounded and surprised by the inevitable attacks of rivals. Or you can become a strategist. You can accept the reality of the game. You can learn to see the value in the fight. You can forge yourself in the fires of conflict, becoming so sharp, so resilient, so focused, that your enemies will regret the day they ever chose you as a target. If this message has resonated with you, if you are ready to stop fearing your enemies and start learning from them, if you are ready to turn every conflict into a classroom, then make your declaration. Join the men and women who are choosing to be forged, not broken. Go to the comments and declare your new understanding. Write, "My enemy is my teacher." It is a declaration of your strategic wisdom, a commitment to finding strength in the struggle. Subscribe to the Thinker's Codex. The war is always here. It's time you learned how to win.